続きまして、ブラックジャックに
Next is a keynote speech by a cartoonist, Mr. Shuho Sato, entitled Free Secondary Use for his work called Give My Regards to Blackjack.
それではどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Mr. Sato, please.
はい、よろしくお願いします。
Hello, thank you. My name is Shuho Sato. I'm a cartoonist. I have my works such as Give My Regards to Blackjack, as well as Sea Monkey. Those are some of my works. I'm not used to giving a speech like this. The symposium is entitled the Open Data Symposium on the matters of copyright and publishing. My talk is going to be in that space, so I feel quite uncomfortable here speaking in front of you. I'm very nervous. On September 15th of last year, my work, Give My Regard to Blackjack, I have made this free of charge in secondary use. The data is not in the right sequence. I don't find my first page here. It's automatically moving. I'm not doing anything. Sorry, I'm not used to this. Sorry. Okay, this is my first page. This is free secondary use of Give My Regards to Blackjack. Let me introduce myself. My name is Shuho Sato. I'm a Japanese cartoonist. I made a debut in 1998. Sea Monkey, Give My Regards to Blackjack are some of my representative works. And in 2002, I received an award for this work. And in 2004, I made Give My Regards to Blackjack, and I received the Cartoonist Association Prize. And I have 120 slides for you. And I'm supposed to cover this in 30 minutes. I don't know whether I can. I'll try my best. So my work. This is a cartoon that I've written. Hospitals' actual situation and physicians' actual situations is the topic. From 2002 to 2006, this was carried serially on Weekly Morning, a comic book. And from 2007, I changed the title to New, Give My Regards to Blackjack. And I've moved to Shogakukan Big Comic Spirits, and this was completed in 2010. The sequel, New Blackjack, Give My Regards to Blackjack. 17 million is the cumulative number of books that has been sold. Can I have some water? I'm very nervous. Sorry.
で、ブラックジャックに
So, this work, Give My Regards to Blackjack, I myself, from September 15th to 2012, I've made this free of charge in making secondary use. I come back to this page again. I should have shown you this first. This is the cartoon that I draw. Let me just flip some pages. These are the cartoons that I've drawn. And making it free of charge for secondary use, I've drawn up these terms of use. Free use, as long as you follow the conditions of the terms. The works of Blackjack could be used regardless of whether it's for commercial or non-commercial purposes. You don't have to get the prior permission. You will be able to reproduce this or publicly transmit this without charge. You can make adaptations. You can make secondary use adaptations such as converting into a foreign language version or spoofing or animation. Anything is possible. As for these secondary works of art, I will not be invoking the copyright for the original work. This is what I say in my terms of use. I'm getting nervous again. And I will also not be exercising the author's personal rights. This is what I say in these terms of use. So the rule is such that you can do anything with my work. But the name of the work and the name of the author, there has to be attribution. And the site that is distributing this data has also need to be attributed. And after the fact, you need to report to me that you made use of this. So those are my conditions for free use of my work. For overseas versions, I'm asking them to make attributions such as this. So why did I think about this idea of making this free of charge in allowing secondary use free of charge? Now, let me start by talking about the current situation in the publication area. The publishing area, it looks like this. In 2012, the market size was 1,798 billion. So this was down 3.6% year on year. And 8 years in a row, it's been coming down. At peak was 1996, 2 trillion, 656.3 billion. That was at the peak. So it's now down by more than 900 billion, the market size. At the peak time, it's only 60% of what it was at the peak. So the market, the publishing market has shrunk this much. What about the cartoons, the comics? For cartoons, it looks like this. Comic books and comic magazines, the total revenue, total net sales. At peak, it was in 1995 at 586.4 billion, but in 2011, it's now down to 390.3 billion, which is about 65% of what it was at the peak. For comic books and comic magazines, revenues have been added together here. The red bar is comic magazines. Magazines, 96 was the peak, and it's been coming down. In 2005, it's lower than comic books. As for comic books, 2005 was at the peak, and after that, it's been flat or so. So in the publishing industry, magazines are not selling so well anymore. But when it comes to the sale of books, comic books, it's been maintained. But when you look at this more closely, the number of magazines has been increasing over the years. 2006 or 7 was the peak, and it's come down somewhat. 2012, there was 288 companies publishing magazines. So the number of magazines has been constant, but the revenue per magazine is down. This here is the number of new books published. It doesn't show the same picture here. 2012, new books was a record high. 12,356. 95 was the sales peak for comic books. So from those days, it's grown by 1.8 times. So the number of new books published has increased by 1.8. We say that the books has been maintained, but that is because the number of books has been increased by 1.8. But when you look at the sales per one book, it's less than 50%. So publishing industry is not doing so well when it comes to physical books. But what about e-books, electronic books? It looks like this. In 2012, e-books market was 72.9 billion. In 2017, it's expected to grow 3.3 times. That's the forecast. So publishing is down, but e-books are growing. So people in the publishing industry are looking for other ways because they will not be able to make money in the publishing area. They are looking for other options in e-book market. So what has the publishing industry been doing? This is what happened in 2011. Digitization, scanning in businesses. Well, publishing companies and writers and cartoonists have sent an open letter to scanning companies. What these scanning companies do is that the books and magazines would be disaggregated and they would scan it and digitize it. That is what these operators do. There are businesses that do this for you, and these scanning companies, scanning service companies, well, the writers and cartoonists have told these operators not to digitize their works to make a business out of it. So they have sent an open letter to these operators. And the writers and the publishing companies, because their books, they don't want these operators to scan their books. They don't give authority. But the question asks whether these operators would continue to scan and digitize the works without authorization. These are the questions. Many scanning operators must abide by accepting orders that have been authorized. But the writers are not granting such license about the work. And we would like to notify you that we don't intend to give authorization until there is a mechanism in place where there are appropriate returns to be made to the copyright holders. And following questions, ask them whether they intend to stop scanning or 122 people and companies came together to send these letters to the operators. These are well-known writers, very well-known, very prestigious names here. So publishing companies, Kadokawa Books, Kodansha, Shinchosha, and other large names are lined up here. So the publishing industry has come together saying that digitization is not to be allowed. So the questions have been sent. And in addition, even without, well, there are two operators who answered saying that they will continue to scan the works even without authorization, and they have been sued and they lost in the lawsuit, or they closed down their business. They said that if you're going to gang up on me, we'll close the business. So such litigations were brought. And after about a half a year, Japan Book Publishing Association, Japan Magazine Association, Japan eBooks Publishing Association, and Japan Publishing Infra Center have come together to establish a publishing public relations center, and they demanded neighboring rights for copyright. And violation of copyright is becoming more egregious and very sophisticated. Low-cost scanner at high speed is now possible. There's image editing software, and there's file sharing software advanced, so that type page can be disseminated and pirated works have been created because of such advancement of technology. So scanning companies, scanning service operators are deemed as being illegal business by the Publishing Public Relations Center. So because they don't have neighboring rights, writers must bring lawsuits themselves. So the writers and the copyright holders asking the digitization scanning companies not to violate their rights, but the publishing companies don't have copyrights, so they don't bring up lawsuits, and therefore it's the writers and the cartoonists, and they have to bring up these lawsuits themselves. But if they are given neighboring rights, they can, on behalf of writers and authors, they can take measures against piracy. That's what the publishing companies have started to say. So what happened?
So maybe I need to explain what this rights neighboring on copyright or related rights is about. So if you're a broadcaster or producer, they are given this right. It's a right related to copyright. So it's a right that is attached to those who play a central role in propagating copyright. So I know there's a lot of different views on this, but I think you can just perceive it as a copyright. It's a weak right that is slightly inferior to copyright. So with this right, you can object against the illegal dissemination by internet. You can arrest those publishers who and the rental operators that are illegally disseminating this information. But the cartoonists are all opposed to this. Because mangas, if you include the assistant's payroll, cartoonists all must pay for their cost. And of course, writing the names and stuff is borne by the editors, but production is all cost is borne by the cartoonists themselves. So cartoonists felt that the publisher did not have this related right. So we started not getting along. And because the cartoonist position was strong, the publishing PR center decided to abandon this, and they have decided to go with the expansion of the publishing right. So in summary, I'm sorry I have not been able to explain this very well, but so publishing is no longer good, and you see growth in e-publishing. And publishers, because their business is in publishing, e-books, because there's a name of the book, it's just a data, so it's not really a book. But ebook is just a word of image, just so that people can understand what it is. But in terms of rights to the electronic books, the publishers has really absolutely no right. So the publishers, it seems as though they're working very hard to gain the rights so that they can do ebooks as well, because that's the area that's doing well commercially. And that will probably lead to the profit. But would that lead to the interest to, does that protect the interest of the cartoonists to have the concentration of the rights to the publishers? Now, in terms of the scanning and the digitalization that I mentioned earlier, they will need original to do that, so it will not affect our revenue. And in terms of piracy, of course, the publishers claim that there's increasing piracy, but ebooks is increasing also well. So piracy does not seem as though is impacting negatively on the ebook sales. So as you saw in this litigation against the scanner and digitalizer, this act that ignores the convenience of the readers. It is taking away the opportunity for readers to get an exposure to the material they have right to read. How much more time do I have left? Oh, I'm sorry, my time has passed. So I'm going to rush through the last half. I can't talk fast. So, Cartoonist should utilize copyright so that readers can have more opportunities to read our books. Then, publisher is insisting that they will protect us from piracy, but in exchange for rights. But without that, I think cartoonists can continue to protect their interests by themselves. So that is why I have decided to allow free secondary use. And also in terms of piracy, I think it's really meaningless because I'm distributing my work free of charge. Secondary use is free, but I think that if we open up the commercial use, then I think there will be more use of it or more reader. And with regards to Blackjack, and I have the newer version, Blackjack as well. And this is not free, so I thought maybe my revenue for that book will increase. So what I decided to do is plan the original drawing exhibition. I did this from September 20th in 2012. And in the opening statement, this is what I said, and this is in commemoration of free secondary use of my artworks with regards to Blackjack. And maybe it's hard for you to imagine what it means by free secondary use, but it's not giving any distinction between commercial and non-commercial use. You are allowed to publicly disseminate or duplicate my work, and any translation, any secondary use, including foreign language, parody, animation, voice, book, movie, commercialization will be admitted. And using the original data, you can publish book around the world. And my company and myself will not exercise any copyright. You do not need to contact me beforehand. I will not ask for any compensation or loyalty. I would be happy if you freely use my work. So that was my opening statement at my original drawing exhibition. And I was not able to prepare the pictures of my exhibition, but in the center of this exhibition, I put this very large copy machine. And I said, you can freely copy and take it home with you. I'm probably stupid. But I thought it's just better if everyone had fun. I felt like everyone is talking about too much copyrights, and I want people to feel free about it. I heard a lot of difficult things today, and then it was too difficult for me to comprehend. And all I want to say is, it's all yours. It's free to use. Help yourself. That's what I said. So what I actually did was took data on the secondary use for that 1 year. So from 15th of September 2012 until 14th of September 2013, I took a record of the result of the secondary use. 712 cases of secondary use. I thought that's a so-so record. That's about, I get about 2 emails a day saying they used my work and they thank me. So that's about 60 secondary uses per month. And I only took a record of for 1 year, but I believe the same sort of level continues today. And we broke it down by media into web media, paper media, visual media, and others. And in terms of users, ordinary people, ordinary companies, some publishers too. E-book publishers, they use a lot. And we had healthcare, politicians, governments use it as well. And it's used in Twitters and Facebooks. And if you look at it on a monthly basis, this is how it looked. In the first month, it was very large at 96. It became festive and people decided to use it. So I had 96 secondary uses, and then I had a big slump. And then this May, a large ebook mediator began to use my work as a secondary data use, and they distributed this data to different ebooks retailers. So that's why you see a jump here. Now looking at by media, web media is 553, paper 132 cases, visual 7, others is 20. Moving ahead. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I think I have to skip some slides. So let's just look at specific examples. So 553 cases on web media, smartphones, ebooks. This will be included as a web media, so that's 223. Company websites and company SNS, social networks, 164. PC ebooks distribution sites, 56. Individuals, homepages and SNS, 49. Book app of iOS and Android is 29. And there are non-book apps, so for example, puzzles and games. There were 21 used in apps. And then in internet broadcasting and video sites, movie sites, 8. Let's moving on. This is a mobile phone sign. This is the screenshot of iPhone. So in this way, it's free of charge. They boldly distribute. These are the 4 websites which I captured the screens. These are Line, Books, Booklive, Spa.k, Manga, or Google, Keynote. These are all famous ebook publishers. They are all distributing. So it's been distributed in 223 ebook distribution sites on mobile phones and smartphones. I don't think there are hardly any smartphones or web mobile phone sites that are not distributing my work. And then there were 164 cases which was distributed on web homepages and SNS and banners. This is the Adobe's Creative Cloud information site. When they want to say, giving best regards to such and such, they like to use my work. So this is SoftBank before. He says, giving best regards, give my regards to White Jack, not Black Jack. Here, this is Canon. They said, giving regards to Canon Genuine Ink. This is Cisco. It says, tell me what is board. That is saying, and what is the most optimal server in the world? That's a question that's on. And tick, tick, tick. And it says Cisco. Right. I saw many uses like this. This is Derby Week. This is both poster, website, and commercials, TV commercials. And you have to guess on who is doing the voiceover, and they're doing commercials like that. What are some of the others? This is interesting. This is the. So what they do is they replace the text in the bubble, and you can play around with it. And I'm totally unrelated, I thought, but they asked me to become a judge. And if you win the Grand Prix, you'll be able to eat sushi with me in Tsukiji. So I went and had sushi with the winner. And a professional cartoonist did a lot of works, parody comedies like Rie, Sayonara, Shiriagari Kotobiki, Karazuya Satoshi. These are the parody cartoonists. I heard that there's 180 applicants for this award, but I'm counting this as one secondary use case. This is the there's a musician called Mega Ryu, and he used it on his album jacket. It says, giving regards to Megaton Jack. This is the Akita Prefecture's campaign. They used it for some sort of, to prevent suicides. This is the House of Councilors election. I think it was the upper house election website that they used on this.
There were no problems, mostly. The FSA designated fraud site. There was just one case where my cartoons were used in a fraud site. So I changed the terms of use, asking them not to use for illegal purposes. Moving on. Web ebook distribution sites. Earlier, I talked about mobile sites. Here is for PC sites. On PC sites, at major stores, almost all of those stores distributed my works. Even overseas, in Korea and in Taiwan, distribution had started. There are various viewers to read ebooks, the viewers. And as a sample, various companies used my work, give my regards to Black Jack, saying that their viewer gives such a clear, crisp image. It seems that all viewers are using my works. This is Kindle, iBooks, Taboo, Fix, eBooks Japan, Yahoo Books, Galapagos Store, Nico Nico Video. All of these places are distributing my work. It's strange. Amazon, people give me an email saying that they have used my work. In the case of Kindle, it's peculiar. When I made secondary use free of charge, a dozen or so people at Kindle individually started selling my work. Give my regards to Black Shop. And Amazon was put in a hard place because there was about 100 of Blackjack, my work available. So they want to remove all of them, Amazon said. Asking me to give them permission exclusively to distribute at Amazon. So they removed contents from elsewhere. So on Kindle, this is free of charge. So I always monopolized the first position in free of charge rankings. These are iBooks. This is eBook Japan. Personal homepages, SNS, 49 cases of use. Compared to commercial use by corporate websites, there was 164 cases. This is about 1/3. So individuals processing the image or developing a website using my work may be a bit of a burden for individuals, I suppose. But still, Twitter, if you search for give my regards to Black Jack, you have numerous hits. Everybody is tweeting their observations. Because it was free, I read it, they say. Or they read manga for the first time in more than 10 years. And on an ebook, it was the first time. And I read it in my class and I started crying. Or the person sitting next to me on the train is reading this. People were tweeting about this. So it seems that there are many people who are reading my work for the first time because I made this free of charge. I was following Twitters. There was 5,000 comments that I counted, but I stopped there. These are some examples which was used individually. Would you like to use collagen? This is the protagonist saying. Is there any data saying that the collagen would make your skin look beautiful? And this old lady is listening to this explanation about the effect of collagen. If I drink collagen, is my skin going to be much better and smooth and supple? Is my skin going to be getting much younger if I drink collagen? And the question comes again, this old lady. And the guy says, no, I think it will be difficult to make your skin rejuvenate. And she hits back. So even if you eat collagen, it's not going to improve your skin. That was the conclusion. They use my cartoons to make that point. 29 cases in backup in iOS. My work, give my regards to Blackjack. If you conduct a search in the Apple Store, this is the outcome. I'm starting to get sick of this. I'm getting tired of looking at my work. All volumes free of charge. This application was a big hit, making available all the volumes of my work. Downloads, the number was about 1.6 million. In Apple Application Store, there was a time where this work was ranked #1. This was a major hit. It wasn't sold by me. I'm going to skip over. Sorry, I'm taking up so much time. This is a camera applications, game applications. You will be able to practice drawing by choosing this. It's a strange application. This is creating stamps with cartoons. And this is the video uploading site for net broadcasting, Nico Nico site. A voice actor provided the sound, and sometimes my work was used in the title page, the front page of Kindle books. Let me take a look at the number of uses in paper medium. Leaflets, 58. Magazines, 25. Posters, 22. Pamphlets, 21. Books, 3. Newspapers, 3. Leaflets. This is for a pachinko parlor. Again, pachinko parlors and car inspections. Those leaflets along the major highways, major roads, oftentimes my work was used. This was for solicitation of newspaper delivery. This is for insurance products. This is for cram school. Magazines. This is for a pleasure hotel advertising. It's a delicate way of using my work, but I thought it's okay. I just let it go. Posters. Again, Pachinko Parlor Association put together this poster saying that eliminate accidents at parking lots. And next is the Opera House election campaign. And tobacco or free of charge copying. They are able to copy this free of charge, but the reverse size is going to be used for advertising. Pamphlets, labor union pamphlets, and other cases. For books, there were 3 such cases. Books may have a higher hurdle in doing this. Futabasha, which is known for Crayon Shinchan, put together a convenience book. And they said that the initial printing was 150,000. And the sequel, somebody made that into a novel, and I was asked to draw the cartoon for the cover. Newspaper, 3 cases, and visual media. I've already exceeded my time, sorry. I will be over in another 3 minutes. Visual medium, 6 cases of use, TV 4, DVD 2. The number is small. I wasn't sure if I should show this, but this is adult video. Women who get excited by showing themselves naked. This is the protagonist. It looks like this. This is the heroine. She looks like this. Something happens. A porn video, I guess. Paper medium, web medium. Others are included in this others category, and liquor. And a real mask, it's a gross. And here is the flag that's been posted along the major road. And Upper House election, it seems that they like to use my drawing. It was used on the wrapper of chopsticks, and this was distributed at the Lawson convenience store across Japan. When they buy a box of lunch, this would come together. And this was distributed at the Tokyo Game Show, a clear file, and drama by Noboru Kaneko or Yamazaki Mami. Drama used my work as their poster, and next week there's going to be another one using my work. So these are some specific cases of use of my work. There was enough sufficient penetration. So rather than having binding copyrights, if you let people use this freely, I thought that it would be fun. And it was actually fun. I was invited to many places, different places, and they treat me to sushi. So I had a very enjoyable 1 year. So I'm very happy that I made this free of charge. In addition, there were some economic benefits as well. Financial benefits. My work on various e-websites, it was distributed free of charge. But in conjunction with this, what happened is that the sequel, they come to me asking for distribution of the sequel as well as my other works, and that will be chargeable. Application was downloaded 1.6 million. And I have gained a new customer base, resulting in larger sales. So ebook sales, other content sales grew dramatically alongside of this. So my work is being distributed through these e-book stores. There's 38 e-book stores altogether distributing my work. So you'll find this anywhere. In 1 year, my e-books net sales 153,980,000. That's the total sales on a monthly basis. And all volumes free of charge. 1.6 million downloads were made for all volumes made free. And I tried selling chargeable works and attach that. And on a monthly basis, I sold 20 million in addition. So I was very happy about this. This is the total amount. So how much did I receive as a result of these increased sales? In 1 year, 70,284,000 is the amount of money that I received. So when I released my work free of charge to people, I gained 70 million yen. So that's the end of my talk. Thank you very much.
Sato-sama.
Mr. Sato, thank you very much.